It just, there's so many people they say the shit about, oh, so-and-so's got so much potential. Oh, little Joey's got so much potential. The best substitute for toilet paper is like human potential. You just wipe your ass with it. There's no resource more squandered in every culture, in every language, in every religion. There's nothing more squandered. It'd be more valuable if it was toilet paper. If human potential is for toilet paper, you could do something with it. But there's so much squandered potential. Nobody wants to do anything. And then they look at their comparative other as like their immediate peer group, which just happens to be some schmuck that they grew up next to, And there's no independent thought. Just whatever religion you grew up in, that's your religion. Whatever bullshit customs were in your community, those are your customs and traditions. And you think they're really special as if you own them. No, dumb fuck. You just absorbed that because you were around a bunch of other dumb fucks that is just stupidity passed on from generation to generation. And people think that they're special or unique for some of these things. And it's really quite the opposite. It's really quite the opposite. If you don't have a tolerance to social pressure, you're done. There's nothing good can happen. If you're not willing to tolerate some social pressure, nothing good can happen. And if you don't have some social intelligence to know, where to create those frictions and when not to, et cetera, it's nothing good can happen. And probably 20 other things I could add to that list. And I don't know. I think the last year for me, I think it's been it changed a lot of my habits. Training with the people that I have, and I have a lot to learn in martial arts. I'm a decent striker. My grappling is good. I have a lot to work on, but I'm some of the guys at UFC. They're smaller than me. They're 200 pounds, 220 pounds, but guys that size that are big name UFC people that I'm giving them a lot harder time than I was. I'll still get fucked up 3 minutes later, but there's not too many people who could go 3 minutes with top contenders at UFC and be okay. Yeah, pieces are coming together good. I have a lot to learn, and I'm grateful to have the people around me that I could learn from. But the part that you guys care about is like that shift. There's a shift in my head quite dramatically that, and you heard Frank say that there's some champion staying at the house. Take that one to the airport, pick up another one, drop him at the airport, pick up another one, and you can't help but have some of that rub off on, you rub off on each other. And it's helped me extinguish, some of my weaker habits. It's helped me just think about things a little bit more clearly of like, all right, like, do you need to have a snack in the middle of the night, fatty? Or is it okay to like fast for 12 hours? Be okay if you didn't eat for 12 hours? Wake up in the morning and eat whatever you want? Be less of a fatty? Could you do that? All right, let's do that. Just little things like that you make a little decision about and be like, oh, I'm a little hungry. All right, you'll eat in the morning. Maybe your voice still says, oh, I'm a little hungry. Yeah, shut up, fatty. Eat in the morning. I mean, if you guys can't have your version of that conversation with yourself, whatever you're lacking discipline in, if you can't have your version of that conversation with yourself, then okay, then just have shit results instead. And just accept that you're going to have shit results. There's a subset of people, in a professional context that in their employment, a manager comes to them and asks them to take on more responsibility. And there's a subset of people that understand that what an opportunity that could be and be like, yes, I'll take the difficult project that nobody wants. And I'll do fucking great at it, by the way. And I'll sacrifice whatever I need to in my life to make sure that I do great at it. All right? And then there's a different subset of so-called professional who's dedicated to poverty, who, when they hear, about an opportunity, they're like, well, am I getting paid more for that? Well, hell no, I don't want to do extra work. And they can't think about the bigger picture. They can't see the bigger picture. So hell no, I don't want to do extra work if I'm not getting paid for it. Like, okay, then just stay right there and and get passed up again and again for promotions, get a mediocre raise, and fail to be promoted again and again and again and again forever. Because they don't see that, So just think about that in your own lives. I'm not trying to say it to be too cute, but I'm trying to say it to be memorable. Think about that in your own lives. Like, when you get invitations to something, I mean, yeah, the answer is probably yes. And I had several people in my life still that, I don't need to say their names. There's a couple of guys that are extraordinarily wealthy that are, multi-billionaires now. When they invite me to dinner, I don't say, they say, hey, I'm inviting a couple of friends to dinner. I think you'd have a fun time if you came with. I don't ask who's coming. Why would I ask who's coming? I trust their judgment that no problem. Yeah. A different friend invited me to, actually I invited him to dinner. This is a little awkward because I don't like anybody. I really don't like strangers. I don't want to meet any strangers. And I invited a friend to dinner this month, in December. I invited a friend to dinner. And so him and his girlfriend said, well, why don't you, we're going to be in town together, let me take you to dinner, etc. And he's like, well, I'd love to, but I have another friend that's going to be in town with me. Is it okay if he comes too? And my brain immediately doesn't like it because I'm grumpy and I don't like anybody. And I thought to myself about who it was that I was talking to, and I'm like, nah, if this guy is hanging out with him, he doesn't like anybody either. So it's somebody I would innately get along with. We'd do just fine. So I have to do that in a quarter of a second. I get to make that decision. And I'm like, no problem. I'll make the reservation for 6 instead of 4. And everything was great, And the other guy, I didn't ask who it was. I didn't ask for any details. I'm just like, if this guy is saying that guy should come, okay. It turned out just great. But you don't ask that. You don't say, well, who's coming? You have to accept that. If you have to ask that, then you shouldn't be hanging out with that person. If you have to be concerned about their judgment, then that's a different problem. Does this make sense what I'm saying, guys? You guys know my secret to my cheeriness, why I'm so happy all the time? When I wake up, I don't think everything's supposed to be perfect. When I go to sleep at night, I don't idealize tomorrow. I don't idealize the week. I don't idealize the month or the year. I know when I wake up, something's going to be fucked up. Something's going to be shitty. Something non-ideal is going to happen. And I'm just okay about that. I'm just like, well, that's life. And every day for the rest of my life, if you don't wake up and have a couple of problems, you're not trying hard enough. You're not doing enough. And just having that thought, and I mean this very sincerely, I say it as half a joke of why I'm so cheery all the time. I'm both equally like grumpy and cheery. My moods are very stable. I'm always a little grumpy and a little happy at the same time. But that does help with the happy part. Is I don't have some crazy idealized bullshit. You guys all know somebody that they plan their day to be perfect, and it's never perfect. Like you and me and everybody else, it's never perfect. And then when something comes up, every little thing really throws them off course. Every little thing is, a distraction or an anxiety-inducing event. You guys know people like this? Yeah. How can you live that way at peace? Like that looks like hell to me, that, like, okay, so you think as soon as anything comes up, any little something, that's all it takes to affect your mood? That's all it takes to distract you from your goals or obligations for the day? It just screams about their weakness or, bad planning and, mental weakness. And if you got to break plans with somebody, think what that really means. You're telling somebody that they're not a priority in your life, and you're telling somebody that you're too weak and too stupid, you're not a good enough planner to keep your word. So I'm too weak and too dumb to follow through on the thing that I said I was going to do. Does that make sense?
Some people are confused. They say, Derek, what is the 10 Commandments of wealth? Not the 10 maybes of wealth. It's the 10 core things that you're going to need to know about in detail if you'd like to accumulate significant wealth in your lifetime. Click this link up here to find more information exactly what is the Ten Commandments Wealth. How is the program structured? What's inside of it? How are you going to benefit from it? If you're doing well already and you'd like to do better, click that link and find out more. There's over 100 hours of content in this program. I've interviewed dozens of world champions that shared what it took for them to win, to be the top Hall of Fame athletes in their respective areas. And I brought a lot of other superstars in there from business, from legal, people that are real world entrepreneurs that made serious money, as I have myself. We all share with you what are the foundations you're going to need to know if you want to be successful yourself. Be a chooser, not a loser. Click that link, find out more. I'll see you inside.